Hand-carved hearts, strung as stone, from a small barn shop we call home. Soldier Farms, you feel the grain. Every board tells a name. Soldier Farms wood shop, bring the warmth inside. Hang our work where your stories live and hide. Find us on Etsy and Goimajin too. Soldier Farms wood shop, made by hands for you. Hey!
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Soldier Farms. I'm Jim. I'm in the workshop today. I have a project. This is a kit. I ordered a ukulele kit, and this is, I'll admit, an economy kit. I didn't plan actually to be building this kit right now. I had planned to do a couple of other things, but I was scrolling through my YouTube community page and found a post that I had made regarding a conversation I had had with the Carson Holmes pertaining to a ukulele kit that he had bought from Stuart McDonald. It's a very nice kit, and he had some questions about the assembly process, and I've never put together a bent sides kit. I've done some other musical instruments from scratch and built a couple of kits for other things, but I had never done a ukulele. And I thought, well, let's see if I can build one and see if I can give him any help. And then I went looking, and Stuart McDonald has a complete build series for their kit. This is not their kit. This is an economy kit, and this video is not sponsored. I've ordered stuff from them over the years, and I've always been impressed by the quality. This is a kit that I ordered from Temu because $15 is in my budget, and $150 is not. So that's why I bought this kit. The kit I bought was supposed to be a bent sides kit. It is not. This kit, let me open up here and I'll show you what I've got, or what comes out of the box as it comes out of the box. I want you to be able to see this. First, I have, there, it's banded together. Alright, well, it's banded together. We have it does not smell like pine. That actually smells like maple, and I believe the headstock is poplar. So we'll see. But it's not bad. This is, and it is fairly true. There's no dip in the neck, and our headstock's at 15 degrees, as it should be, or thereabouts. There's no pre-drilling for the tuners aside from the post, but the screw holes for the mounting plates are not there. It's not an essential thing, and it's not a deal breaker. And this is roughly shaped, but it will require some sanding, and that's not a big deal. And then this is the body. This is, as I mentioned, this is just a built-up kit that I'm going to assemble. It's not a full build, a bent sides kit. There is some bracing in here. Not an incredible amount of bracing. Is reinforced under where the bridge saddle will go, which is probably the most important thing. And this is lasered. I would imagine this whole thing was laser cut. And it's probably a pine top. It could be plywood, but it does not look like plywood on the ends. And then it has a dowel preset for the neck, so there's no mortise. And then let's see here. And there is a very slight radius here. It's going to require some sanding to make it a little nicer. We have a little tear out going to be on the inside. It's not going to be a big deal. Let's see what our tone wood sounds like. Oh, we'll see. So first off, we have our neck. Let me angle down a little bit so you can see. All right, so I have the neck and the body. I have a small tube of white glue. I prefer to work off the right. Being right-handed, that's usually how that will work. This fretboard is most likely 3D printed. It could be injection molded. I see some sprue marks, and it's pre-fretted, and I believe that these frets are plastic and like either painted or plated gold. So it's not bad. It's not a quality instrument. Now the StewMac kit, I believe I think the fretboard is pre-cut, and then you do the fret job, and that's not, as we learned doing our dulcimer, a fret job is not bad. It is something that takes some careful attention. And so, all right, we have our fretboard, which I'll lay right here beside the neck. Hardware bag we'll get into, and a tiny, unimpressive Phillips screwdriver. I won't use this because it's obviously too fat and round for the screws that we're going to be putting in these tuners. I have a precision screwdriver set I'll use, but they did at least send a tool. And let's get in here. This is the hardware bag. So these are the ukulele tuners. They're not bad. It will do the job, and it has nylon strings or poly or whatever those strings happen to be made of. They look like nylon. And it's just a little 2-screw or 2-bolt bit screws faceplate, and it will go into the I'll look at my manual if there is one, or I will look at this Stuart McDonald video, but that's how that's going to go, and it will be completely adequate for what we're wanting to do. Oops. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuners, as we should. These are our strings. There are 4 different size strings. And of course, you know, those strings go top to bottom, thickest to thinnest, just like a guitar. And here we have a little plastic nut. This is definitely just injection molded plastic. It's not impressive. And here is the bridge, likewise injection molded plastic. It's gonna screw in place. And then the bridge saddle, and I'll take a file and fit that, and it is also just plastic. And then in here are the caps and the screws for our, or the bushings and the screws for our tuners. I'm not going to take those out of there. You can see them very adequately. All right, and these screws I would be, let's take one out. Pardon me. We're coming to the end of winter, but cold season will continue probably until after spring break. As a full-time substitute teacher, I am constantly battling the ill cycle. All right, well, that's not too bad. These actually have a little bit larger. I don't know if that helps. These would take a little bit larger screwdriver than the tuners for the cigar box guitar that we did recently. So that's not bad. We want to keep all this stuff. I am a firm believer, well, this will get us going. I'm going to put all of our tuners back in here and seal that up. Get my, we get an instruction sheet. Hey, no surprise, no instructions. So this is the part, and I know that this glue will not attach the plastic fretboard. All right, that works. So, what we are going to do is fit very loosely and you'll see here our just at the break. Just at the break. is where we kind of want to draw our witness mark. Yeah. You want to draw your witness mark, and you want to be sure that you are at the break and not angled. And that's just a hair. All right. So, you want to make sure that you are just at the break where that the angle of the peg head breaks away. And you want to make sure that your fretboard is straight and flush as possible on both sides. This is not perfect. And you just want to make a little witness mark there. And then let's dry fit. Yeah, this is not great. I am pleased that this is going to be covered up by our fretboard, because that would be very, very ugly. And it may still need, well, it's going to need some fitting, but it's probably going to need a little filling also. So we are going to go, I believe this is a I'm going to take some scientific wild guesses. Here, we're going to make the assumption that this is 13 and a half. So 6.75. All right, so this here, right here, our bottom fret will be our octave. So that's fine. And this should go together just like that. So what we will do and the saddle just snaps in the bridge and it will slide out or pull right out. It's not in there fixed by any means. And in the meantime, before I get into the assembly, I am going to do a little looking up to be sure that I am doing this correctly. But without instructions, I would imagine that our strings are meant to be knotted and brought through, because this is not the bridge that you probably meant for ball end strings actually, but we'll just put a double knot on there. We will not tie the traditional knot, but that is okay. All right, so we are relatively center, and our strings, and our nut is going to go in this direction, because the break angle is so that your strings will put a tension there, and if you don't have that angle or use a string tree, like with the Fender Stratocaster, that has a straight headstock, and then Fender uses a string tree to provide that break angle, so that there's appropriate tension. Otherwise it will buzz at the nut. And while that is not a terrible issue for a $15 ukulele,
Well, the chips fly light in the morning shade, hand-cut boards and a pocket knife blade. From a holler where the pines stand tall, they sand each edge, sign every hall. Soldier Farms wood shop, built by hand, little bit of sawdust in every plan. If you like things made the slow, true way, find Soldier Farms wood shop when you shop today on Etsy and Gormage and Friends. That's Soldier Farms wood shop. Come on back again.
Alrighty, I am going to go ahead and call this for now. I'm going to do a little research in the meantime to see where I can improve on the very obvious shortcomings of this little ukulele. This will be a fun project, I have no doubt. It'll be an interesting learning opportunity. You think, well, it sounds simple. You're going to sand, you're going to glue, and you're going to finish. That's great. Woodworkers do that every day. But the fitting process for a musical instrument is a little different. It's a more painstaking process. Hand-cut joinery is a similar painstaking process. It's a cheap kit, but I want it to play well. I want to do a good job. I want to help my friend have the confidence to put his ukulele together. And that means a lot to me. So let's see where we go from here. Have a good day.